Hello and welcome back to Uplift Lifestyle Podcast. I am so excited to be sitting here with Cailin, the founder of Womb Consciousness. She's also my first cousin. We are soul sister besties and truly in each other's back pockets, like always manifesting at the Lionsgate portal. Oh my God, the fact that we're recording like 2 days before the Lionsgate portal, of course.
Of course.
The magic we create together is next fucking level. So we're going to drop right in. We're going right to it. Let's start with being in the field of enoughness, because this is something that we were just collaborating on together. You hosted a masterclass, I hosted a masterclass. We really were using the power of the womb, the power of transmutation. We were using the power of becoming the field.
Mhm.
Let's just go there. Like, what is that looking like for you today? This,
Yeah, I love this, Haley, and I'm so glad we're having this conversation right now. So it's funny, since we've spoken, I've been reflecting on it a lot because of the parallels in our work and the way we both work with clients. So when I do work that goes through the womb and through the portal of the womb, over the years I've been learning how to articulate what I even do when I do when I'm in that space, what am I even doing? And more it's become clear to me that, and the way my teachers, my shamanic teachers described it, is that the womb is a doorway. It is a portal. And what it is a portal to is God. At its simplest, it is a portal to the field of infinite potentiality. And this is kind of the language I've used for years, just to help people to understand what they're really accessing when they go into the womb and through the womb. And so our overlap in terms of the way our work comes together, and our overlap last week in terms of your beautiful offering around how to become the field, it just felt like so correlated to me in a way that I don't even think had clicked for me quite before. That really that's what we're both always doing, is getting people to access that field. And then from there, truly the sky isn't even the limit of what can happen in terms of what we're able to actually manifest and bring through and channel through as humans into the material realm. And so that's a bit of a just a bit of an intro of what I've been thinking about since we spoke. And then I have so much more to share. I want to share also about how your personal practices that you shared with me impacted my last few days. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I was having a little, like, today has been just back to back with clients. I've got podcast interviews and it's just been like a day of service. But there is no separation when you're in that God zone, when you're in that frequency, when you're in that field. It's not like, oh, I'm giving, I'm serving. It's like I'm receiving all day. Like when you are in that I am the field, you have an infinite resource. You have an infinite resource, and the work is staying power, staying in the field. And I was thinking, both of our audiences, there's a lot of spiritual people. There's a lot of people that have been in that Phoenix rising. There's a lot of people that have been in that like initiation void for years. And
Yes.
the frequency and field that you and I are in right now, and it's a line in the sand, like there's no turning back.
Yeah.
It's so about being in your queendom, being in your queen archetype, and being on the throne in your life, and truly just receiving, like receiving, 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 receiving,
Yes.
receiving. And for the people listening that are in that like struggle spiritually and tangibly, let's
Yes.
like go there. Like, how can we transmute something for them in this quick, like in the next like 10 minutes? Like, let's go there. You start.
Okay, well, I want to say this is a wonderful way to speak about what you shared the other day. This practice of enoughness.
Mm,
This framing alone I found so personally useful. So in my
okay.
work, so it is cool, like Haley and I both led master classes last week on the same day. My work, I've been really guided to work with erotic power. It's just been a part of my whole life. And more in my sessions one-on-one with clients, that's what people get excited about. And so we go into that. So I was working with that energy, that field of eros, that quickening that happens when you're connected to life force, vital life force, and using that as a way to transmute energy from those tangible challenges into outcomes that actually feel more beneficial. So I've been kind of working in that framing. So moving like scarcity, from scarcity to overflow. Last week, Haley provided the most simple, beneficial framework for
Thank
how to
you.
do this. And I mean, I want to let you share it actually, but I guess that's the first thing
I'll
that comes
share.
to mind.
Yeah.
That's the practice that I actually want people to understand that they can come to. But to
Mm,
speak quickly to this point of the people who are in struggle, and it's so interesting because in my work, especially with the womb, especially as embodied beings that we are, the amount of accumulation that can take place in a life and through lifetimes, through ancestral carrying of content and information in our wombs, in the vessels that we hold within our body, there is so much that can accumulate that does indeed need to be cleared. It does need to be healed. And the way that we go about doing that, as you and I both have shared over the years, it can be so expedient. It can be so quick. There can be this
mhm,
habitual attachment to the struggle or to the healing journey itself, which
mm,
really doesn't need to be there. Our anatomy, we are designed to clear on a monthly basis. We are designed to clear ourselves in a cyclical way as humans and as women in particular. We're designed to work with the lunar cycles. We have this ability to refresh, and that gives us new cycles where we can actually implant and invite new ways of being into our lives on a regular basis. What tends to happen, I notice, is that the mind, the 3D world, there's lots of little sneaky places to get attached to
mhm,
that moment as you describe it. And I really loved your framing. I want to center that in this call, this framing around the Phoenix energy, this struggle energy. In my own work with clients, I really do usually make a point of explaining that, and I do describe what I do as womb healing, womb clearing. That is indeed a part of it. And it can be. And truthfully, I've never actually met a woman who hasn't had to do some level of clearing based on what has accumulated within our bodies as women in this time. But once you've done that, then it gets really exciting. It gets really important. What do you do with that clear space? And in the lineage I was trained in, my shamanic teachers would refer to this as a restoration of the virginal womb. What a
mm,
beautiful sentence, right? And this is for all women everywhere, and ultimately for all people to be able to access that virginal capacity, that place within us where we have that innocence and we have that completeness and that robustness, and we haven't yet attached to any idea that's going to hold us back or be a limitation of any kind. So, getting back to that state of clarity, clearing yourself, because ultimately we are channels, clearing
yeah.
yourself so that you become this available vessel for information and a vessel that can hold what you actually desire in your life. So that's where we get into manifestation and we get into those kinds of conversations. So, all to say, I love that you frame this. Again, I've been doing it with my clients too. Let's let healing be a moment. Let's let it be a moment that we move through. Let us understand our own alchemical capacity, our ability to move and transmute from the struggle state into this overflow and abundance state. And
Mm,
yeah, enter your process because I really enjoyed the framing
yeah.
and I found it simple. And yeah, I just want you to describe it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And I also want to say, in case I forget to say, these master classes, mine was $22, yours was free. If
Yeah.
you're listening to this and you're like, I need that master class, reach out to us. It's been recorded. We will send that to you because there's a full transmutation in both of our master classes that will shift physiology, shift the physical realm for you, shift your
Right.
physical tangible results. So I just want to plug that there.
That's
Um,
right. Yeah.
one thing that I know I will speak to the enoughness because it has been profound for me and for you since I shared it last week, as you said, and for everyone who was in my masterclass. I just keep getting a million messages a day of like, holy shit, like I can't keep up with the messages of people being like, my life is different now. And
Yay.
45-minute, $22 masterclass, guys. Like
Let's go.
just
Yeah.
imagine what's possible. But you were speaking so prolifically about clearing and the womb as a clearinghouse. The
Yeah.
client I had before this, very high level woman, we'd worked together for 2 years one-on-one. We took about a year off and she's back. She's like, I'm ready for my next initiation. Let's fucking go. We're doing
Mhm.
it. And so much of our first session today, day one, was this clearing and purging and clearing and purging. And when
Yes.
you initiate yourself, when you're the type of person listening to this conversation going, I want more, whatever that is, I'm
Mhm.
ready for my truth, whatever that is, like you're initiating yourself, you're entering yourself into the void, you're entering yourself into the shadow, you're entering yourself to be faced and confronted with everything that is not going to come with you in your next iteration of self. So the clearing and the purging there's no, so what I was saying to this client is as soon as it comes, and she's actually a fifth line like us, Cailin. So
Oh yeah.
it was very relevant, and it is relevant whether you're a five line in your human design or not. If you're calling in a bigger life, you are subject to the projection. So long as something comes into your field, if it comes into your field, it's your responsibility, period. And I've been speaking on radical responsibility for years.
Mhm.
If it comes into your field, it's your responsibility.
Mhm.
Where many humans that are stuck in the struggle, where they are getting tripped up, is because they're not doing habitual ritualistic clearing. So they're
Absolutely.
holding on
Absolutely.
to so much shit that's not theirs, and therefore their capacity to grow and evolve and receive is so, it's so blocked because they're holding all of everyone else's stuff and taking responsibility for it, as they must. So you must realize that if it comes in your field, it's now your responsibility. Now you need to clear it. When you
Yes.
get to the higher levels, the levels that me and Cailin are living in, and this client is living in, and many of my one-on-one clients are living in, is we're not taking responsibility anymore for what's not ours. So it doesn't even come into the field because there's no penetration. But if you're listening to this now and you're like, holy shit, that's me, no worries.
Mhm.
You just have a lot of shit that's not yours and you need to clear it. Get outside, jump, shake, scream, let it go to a class, come work with us, get it out so that you can be a clean, clear portal for manifestation.
Yes.
I wanted to
Yes.
say that really loud
Yes.
and clear.
I love hearing you say that. I agree completely. And this is one thing I talk about in my work a lot, again, because so much of my work comes from literally tuning into the energetics of the womb, womb frequency. We've all come through a womb. What are the characteristics of the womb? The womb literally transmutes the spark of life, which is this magical process, into a human body, which then brings into the 3D. We are the original manifestation portal. Do you know what I mean? We need look no further. Human beings, women in particular in this capacity, but human beings are designed to transmute energy into matter. This is one of
Yep.
the laws. I've been exploring the laws with your amazing friend Danielle Amos, one of my mentors. Like
Yeah.
so much has opened up through that exploration, but the perpetual transmutation of energy, this is something we do as humans. It's not even magical. It's so natural. We do
So
this.
natural.
We bring ideas into the world. Look at the world. I always say this, but like everything within it that has been created through humankind has come through from the spark of an idea into and made manifest into form. So
Mm,
anytime we have this disempowering thing where we don't think we have agency, it's us. We are the ones who make this world. And I feel like so much of our work is about that. Hearing you speak about responsibility, I love that. There's accountability. Not only are the things that happen in our world are we responsible for, we also put them there. And that's, I think, where you and I start to pop off a bit in what we know about what is the true nature of reality that we're participating in, that we are co-creators of this actual experience. So anytime something's happening, it's because it's for us, either
yeah.
to enjoy it or to transmute it.
Yeah.
To find this, I described it in my class the other day like this: there's latent power within whatever we're experiencing, especially when
Mm,
it comes to challenge. It's like we're either learning through the gift and we're like, yay, this is great, everything's going wonderfully, or we're
mm,
getting met with a challenge and we're like, that's not quite it. And I really refine with, and I know you're the same, with a fine-tooth comb in my life, I
yep.
don't have things in my life that are not it anymore. And this
Mm,
is what I encourage my clients to do as well. There really isn't room for them, as you're saying.
yeah.
And one of the other points I wanted to make in terms of what we actually are as women, as people with wombs, what we can do is not just transmute, but we also are channels. And so many people come to you. You are an incredibly clear and open channel and have been for years. But so much of the work I do, and I know what you share as well, we are all channels. We are channels. We can receive information. We actually don't need to look outside of ourselves. You know, we
Mm,
go to each other when we need support, when we don't have that clarity of vision. That's when we come to someone like you to help us anchor that. But ultimately, we want to be in a place where our vessel is so clear that we can receive all
mm,
the time what is meant for us and what is meant to come through us. So we are artists, we are creators of our reality, but only if we keep that vessel open, clear, and
mm.
yeah, ready to receive, as you say.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally. Purity, purity, clarity, cleansing always. So let's drop into that enoughness conversation quick. And again, go watch the master classes. Don't even, it's not even watching. It's just like encode, encode, encode.
Clearly, yeah.
This enoughness. So I've lived, so because of the quantum leaping I'm always doing and have been for years, it's like new levels, new devils. So the misalignment, it's sneakier, but because I'm so much more aligned, it feels way more uncomfortable.
Yes,
The more
yeah.
aligned you are, the more you crave alignment. So it's sneakier, but you're like, no, you see it, you feel it. It's very uncomfortable. It's like a little pinprick versus a sword or like a knife. It's so, if you're unaware and you're not tuned to your body, you might not notice the pinprick. But if you're
Mm,
hyper aware of your body, you're going to notice that pinprick. And that's that little refinement. So
yes.
on these recent levels, and particularly before my near death experience, is when this all came to a head. There was this perpetual never enough. It's not enough. It's never enough. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I need more. I need to prove more. There was this perpetual programming of not enoughness that was manifesting in very sneaky ways at my very high level. At the time, I was a best selling author. At the time, people are paying me thousands of dollars to upgrade and channel for them. At the time, I'm someone who's living with so much self love and self honoring that you'd never look at my life and go, she doesn't think she's enough. You would go, this woman thinks she's the queen of the world. It was very sneaky. But
Mhm.
the initiation into my near death experience, the having everything stripped away from me, my health, my life, my body, my safety, all of that, this full strip, it made me feel so raw, so exposed. And in that raw, exposed vulnerability, I realized how much worthiness I was placing on external validation and external metrics and delivering and producing and doing. And a lot of my enoughness was basically, it was required that I was producing at a certain level to feel enough. And because
Right.
I was producing at that level all the time, I never really knew what it felt like to not feel enough because I hadn't actually experienced life differently.
Yes.
And that initiated me. And even as I reflect, I'm always reflecting. Like every day I'm looking back in time and reflecting and learning and extracting the nutrients of lessons and leaving the rest. But
Mhm.
as I was reflecting this time last year, I was very much, as we're leading up to the Lionsgate portal, Lionsgate portal was pivotal. Cailin and I were together on the Lionsgate portal last year, and that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Like, let me just quickly say, I did.
We should do another chat about our
We
lives.
should, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do another one because
Okay.
we're gonna go there.
Yeah.
Lionsgate portal 2024 to 2025, nothing is the same. But I was really in that struggle without, so I had
Mhm.
had my near death experience and then I was initiated and so many things shifted really quickly and I was thriving in so many ways, but I still was seeking a lot. I was seeking answers. I was seeking clarity. Like I always felt like I was like trying and like, if and I use this example
Yeah.
yesterday, I keep seeing butterflies. Like every day I'm seeing butterflies in like the weirdest, randomest places, like real ones, fake ones, imagery, all the things. And I just, this year seeing all the butterflies, I'm just like, cool, cool. Where I think last year I would have been like, this is a good sign, change is coming, a transformation's like it would feel really like I needed to see that sign. I needed this shift. I need change. Where this year, the amount of ease, the amount of like, I am enough, I am good. Like, if my life stayed like this forever, like, that's okay because I'm so alive in the dream now. Like the inherent integrated held frequency of enoughness is so different than I've ever felt before. And it doesn't mean I'm not calling in new. It doesn't mean I'm not manifesting every day with ease. There's just a very different frequency and it really is being in the field of enoughness. And even a year ago, if someone was saying this to me, I don't know if I'd be ready to receive it. But if you're ready to receive this now and you feel like this is the key to unlock, stay in proximity, be in the field of enoughness, life, it blooms like you are divinity in human form. and there's no seeking, chasing, or trying. You are literally just being, and it all comes to you, truly.
Yeah. Haley, it's so beautifully put. And as you're speaking, of course, it reminds me again of the universal laws because I'm really sitting with those a lot lately, and ultimately have been my whole life in many ways, and then saw them kind of laid out. And I was like, okay, these all make sense. The two that come to mind in you speaking about this is really the law of vibration and also the law of attraction. And so the law of attraction states that you don't actually get what you want, you get what you are. So you can understand the role that this plays, this enoughness. Living in a state of enoughness allows you to attract more scenarios where you get to experience being enough. It's
Yeah.
so simple, right? But it
Yeah.
is, and it's one of those ones when people talk about manifestation and all these things, it can feel so heady and so disembodied. How am I going to think myself into a state I actually am not in, this type of thing? But what I love about your framing of enoughness, and I want to share this example that you brought up in your masterclass the other day, or I want you to share it, but this moment of yeah, you were speaking about pumping the gas.
Yeah.
I've thought of it so many times since. And because listen, we're all out here living our 3D lives, which are so
Totally.
often mundane, you know? And like I used to be so angsty about the mundane. Can I just say, I was like, I am here to lead a mystical life. Like I used to get mad in particular, people asking me, this is such a corny example to share, but like people were like, oh, what bus are you taking? Wanting to talk about the bus schedule. And I would just be like, I can't talk about the bus schedule. Like I was just like, I need to like, I was just so fiercely protecting this kind of, sacred space.
Mystical. Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds insane to say it out loud, but honestly, this kind of frustration with those little nitty gritty, the things we all have to deal with because we're out here living 3D lives with our iPhones, with our banking, with our cell phone plans, whatever, to name of a few of the things I've interacted with this week to magical result as well. But
Mhm.
I loved your story about pumping the gas because there was something when you first said it that I was like, it caught me. I was like, I don't know about that. So I want you to share that if you can, because I think it might have resonance for people, and it
Yeah.
did for me. Yeah.
So on what was it, last Friday, like a week ago today, or maybe 2 weeks ago now, I was driving up to our cottage, and it's cottage country in Canada, like lineups, busy. People are kind of rush. It's so funny. The analogy is so great. It's like they're rushing to get to the cottage to relax. Like everyone's rushing to Muskoka to relax, right? So I was on my way to the cottage. I pulling over for gas, I'm listening to music, I'm vibing, and then like I pull out, the thing. I literally put the gas thing in the car, and I'm like, I had this moment where I was noticing the mundane. I was noticing like this is just another thing I have to do, and like almost just like rushing through it, right? Like let's just get this over with so I can get back in the car and then get to the cottage. And it was this very instant, and that's like that needle refinement, right? It's like that pinprick refinement. It was in that instant that I was like, this is as good as it's going to get. If I cannot be so joyful, at peace, and receptive as I pump this gas right here, right now, I'm never going to be. It was like, this moment is it. This
Mhm.
moment is it. This is as good as it's going to get for me. And I really, instead of knowing that, I felt it in my body, and I felt this sense of euphoria and this sense of ease and peace and joy. And then all of a sudden the sun was shining on me. And all of a sudden I felt like I was like basking in like the heavens as I'm standing there, literally just holding the gas pump, pumping my gas. And that like 3 minute experience of like, oh, rush through pumping your gas. Like think of how many times you pump gas in a month, right? Like it's a regular thing. And I just was like, this is it. This is it. Like, if I can't be so at peace here, I never can be.
Yeah.
And that was a profound moment of integration. It was, I knew that all along. Wherever you are, there you are. You must be embodied at all times. But that gas station situation was such a refined one because I've now taken that, and then throughout the whole cottage, it was like washing the dishes, brushing my teeth, all the basic shit that humans just rush through. If you can like actually be like, I am so happy here, and like I don't need anything else. Like I'm alive. Like you're alive. That's the gift. And you don't need a near death experience to know that. Like you you are alive and that is the gift. And
Mm.
if you can live like that, like this is as good as it's going to get, I can promise you the better it gets, the better it gets. It will just keep getting better when you're like, this is it.
Yes, yes. Okay, and I have something to say to that because, again, another one of the laws I've been working with, the law of assumption and the law of thinking, the law of mentalism. So, what are the thoughts I tell myself all day long? Indeed, there's things I want in my life that I don't yet have. Fair. I think we're all in that same boat. But how do I think about them? That's what counts. If I'm thinking about them from the place of scarcity, from the place of lack, and this is what was so refined about your offering and your framing the other day, for me personally, was let's say I'm like, okay, I want, oh my gosh, what do I want right now? I want a decent place where I can spread out and I want like a studio, a home studio in my recording space and whatever. The thing I want for my next home. Okay, this is what I want. I don't have it yet. Oh, I'm so frustrated. How am I going to do the thing? If I try to manifest what I desire, if I try to call that in from the energy of I don't have this. I'm so annoyed I don't have this. That is not going to that's going to backfire. And so your framing was to move instead of going from this place of scarcity, which again, just to be clear, the law of opposites, the law of polarity, it comes in to show us it's like, okay, this is a little annoying. I have to reset everything up every day. I'm sick of, the things that are the nitty-gritty of this mundane situation. But I want this thing. I want a better version of this for myself. But and so we trust that it comes in as an opposite to show us and give us context. No, this isn't it. But if I
Mm,
stay in that frequency and that energy of not having, and then that's the place every time I think about the thing I want, I think about it from the frame of, oh, I don't have this. What I'm actually becoming a vibrational match for is the energy of not having what I desire, which
mm,
means I am setting myself up. Again, those of us who are out here playing with the very fabric of reality, we will be getting results which match that vibrational state of scarcity. So your
yeah,
framing was like, okay, that's a big leap to make. How about from scarcity instead of to overflow,
yeah,
which you might not kind of believe. Like you might be saying the words, but you might not totally believe it's possible for you. Why don't we move instead of from that state? From scarcity now into enoughness. And
yeah,
what is it to hold the frequency of enoughness? What is it to be like, you know what? I don't have this thing, but I do actually have a decent microphone here. I do have a decent light. I can set up
yeah,
the corner of my house. Can I get into that zone today? Here I am on a podcast right now and
yeah,
sitting and being in the zone and being like, you know what? This is enough. This is enough. Yes, there's other things I want. I'm aware of those, but for a moment, kind of putting a pin in that. And really,
yeah,
it's a practice of gratitude as well. And this makes me a vibrational match for yes, more, please, which is one of my favorite
yeah.
Cailin sayings of all time. Yes, more thank you, please. I think you say these things. And
Oh,
right. And so from that place of enoughness, you at that gas station moment, you
yeah,
have made yourself a vibrational match for more. And I think there might be some little trick here because I notice that I do work with clients sometimes in a way where there's something in their field that is so not it. They can't help but be agitated by it. And they don't want to settle for that thing anymore. So there's a moment where they don't want to settle for that lower vibrational thing or the thing that's not working. But the trick is not to kind of curse that thing. It's really to instead shift your internal focus ultimately into a state of, yeah, things actually are enough. What is enough in this moment right now? Is the sun on my face enough? Can I come to that feeling? Live in that until my vibration actually shifts, which does not take very long, as you
yeah,
said. And then suddenly you're flooded with that energetic, which changes your entire weekend. And I can only imagine the actual real world
yeah,
material abundant opportunities that came to match you in that place.
of
And often, in my when I'm being mentored as well, this is one of my big notes is hold it. And you've said this to me too. Hold the frequency because so often we want the big thing, we're waiting, and then we get a little impatient in the waiting, and then we start to go back to scarcity. And this was your note for me the other day. It's like hold that enoughness. You move from enoughness to overflow. The door is closed. You're not going back to scarcity. Don't go back into it's not working out, even if the 3D, even if the hologram, even if the evidence in the material has not yet matched with what you desire, you still have to hold that frequency. You still need to hold the frequency of enoughness until it
Mm,
shifts into more. And then you'll know when it does, but you'll still be holding that same frequency. This is enough. And what can happen from that place. So, and one other note I want to share is that for anyone who's in this experience, if we were just humming along and everything felt great in our lives, we wouldn't be needing these moments of contraction and expansion. We wouldn't have them. It's when we actually start to have that desire for more that all this kind of chaos starts to happen where we have to reorient to our current circumstances and think, okay, this isn't it. This isn't what I want. Now I want this better thing. So this isn't good. And then we kind of get stuck in this loop and go into scarcity mode and think about what we're lacking. But really, we have to trust that when we desire more, we're going to be shown what doesn't match. But our job is actually to stay oriented to what is enough and let that shift us out of that state. That's the way I understand what you shared last week.
No, you said it so well, and I love how much it like landed for you, and then this like re almost this regurgitation of it in a new way is so powerful for everyone listening. And I think that the clear takeaway is like, and what I was sharing last week, and not from this high and mighty place, but literally from this is my work every single day, all day. It's you cannot manifest from scarcity. You can't manifest abundance from scarcity. You can manifest more scarcity from scarcity. You
Yeah.
cannot manifest abundance and prosperity and love and what you want from a place of lack and scarcity. But you can shift from scarcity to enoughness pretty simply because everyone has enough. And we hear about this when people are in prison cells. We hear about this when people are homeless on the streets. When they go from rags to riches, they're not shifting from I don't have it, I don't have it, I want it, I need it. That's not going to be an easy transition. You're going to be in constant resistance. But if you can get to a place of, I want it, and I'm not settling for this because I deserve better, period, to, and I am okay, and I am safe, and I am enough, and I have enough. And then you start to breathe better, and then you start to notice my beautiful home, the sunlight, the nice person on the street in the neighborhood. You start to really get into the field of I am enough and my life is enough. And from there, and I always actually challenge my clients, don't rush into then, oh, now, oh, I feel enough. Now I can manifest more. Because then you're still in an illusion of separation. But if you can just get into the energy of staying in that field of enoughness forever, forever,
Yes.
the seeds are all planted for desire and you will just be met with them. Oh yeah, there's that thing I forgot I wanted. It's here. Oh yeah, there's that thing I asked for 2 years ago. It just showed up because you're in the field of enoughness. As soon as you leave the field of enoughness, you're entering scarcity because
Absolutely.
enoughness is the destination. So if you just stay in the field of enoughness, it all just comes in all day.
You magnetize it towards you.
Yeah. And it just, and really, truly, it comes from within you. It's actually in you. You
Hmm.
are it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Cailin, we could go on forever,
I
but
know. I feel
yeah,
like there's another spark for another conversation I want to have. We'll save it for next
let's
time.
save it for a next one.
Yeah.
Keep this short and potent.
Mhm.
And there's so much here. Like if you can re-listen to this and recode and re-listen and recode and distill this information, we shared some $1 million, multi-million dollar truths in here. There's an infinite number of what we just shared. Come find Cailin, come find me, join the master classes, get the replays, dive into one-on work with Cailin, dive into one-on work with me. It's time. It's
Yes,
time.
yes, yes. And I have to say too, my clients right now are blowing my mind. People are so ready to actually move the needle in their lives. And what's amazing is we've always thought that had to be some arduous process. It's not. It's simplicity. It's coming back to this. It really is. And it's so sweet. And honestly, I just want to say one more thing, which is whether or not you believe in like the deeply magical aspects of life or not, or you believe that you really are a co-creator in your reality, I think every person has had an experience like you were naming, those more mundane moments walking down the street. We know we have a different experience of that same street, the same people we meet when we are in a vibration of openness, enoughness, joyfulness, receptivity. We know we're going to have a very different experience, and it literally does change the world around you.
Yeah.
So it's not a far off, hard to attain state. It's so within us, and it is just that subtle shift. So
Mm.
I loved your framing so much, and I'm so glad to talk about it and more to
And
come.
more. And I loved connecting with you like this, Cailin, and that we can just drop in, like straight up drop right in, like let's go. Because this is the field. When you're in the field, it's all that there is. So I love you, Cailin. I love you, who you are listening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Come dive deeper and stay in proximity. We love you.
Bye.